Sir Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo-Katipunan 87.9 FM. Good morning, Ateneo. Start your day right with your morning wake-up call. Good morning, Ateneo. Energize your day with the lively, funny, and lovely tandem of Mir de los Santos and Tats Kidlat. Catch the latest news and stories around the campus. Good morning, Ateneo. Your daily dose of radio chikahan, tawanan, kantahan, and kwentuhan. Every morning from 9 to 10 a.m. Tuesdays to Fridays. Good morning, Ateneo. Your mornings will never be the same again. Join Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle as he delivers to us the preachings of the Sunday's Gospel that's awe-inspiring, yet easy to understand and appreciate. Let us all listen to the Word of God here on The Word Exposed on Air, only on radyo-katipunan 87.9 FM. Radyo-Katipunan 87.9 FM. Rejoice, refresh, renew, and reflect. Join us for an hour of music that uplifts the soul. Listen to your favorite Jesuit music ministry artists. This is JMM Radio. Get your day's dose of inspirational music. Tune in to JMM Radio every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. Only here on Radyo-Katipunan 87.9 FM.
3 o'clock prayer. You died, Jesus, but the source of life flowed out for souls, and the ocean of mercy opened up for the whole world. O fountain of life, immeasurable divine mercy, cover the whole world and empty yourself out upon us. O blood and water, which flowed out from the heart of Jesus as a fountain of mercy for us, I trust in you. Holy God, Holy Mighty One, Holy Immortal One, have mercy on us and the whole world. Holy God, Holy Mighty One, Holy Immortal One, have mercy on us and the whole world. Holy God, Holy Mighty One, Holy Immortal One, have mercy on us and the whole world. Amen. Jesus, King of Mercy, we trust in you.
Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tupa at tama. Buhay ay nangingiga sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibiga lahat ng eskwela. Katipunero sugo, todo sa kayot, tulong at tulong. Lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiding at tigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, 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 katipunan. Radyo, katipunan. Radyo, katipunan.
All caps, mga Atenista, it's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo-Katipunan 87.9 FM.
alam ko na rin yung mga guests, kung may ito
Qualify.
yung magiging ending.
Kaya mo na yan. I'll help you launch your own. No, have that for free TV, but you can have your own talk show. You can actually have your own talk show.
Yeah.
Pero, you know, Maricel Laksa, di ba? The
I-
boxing, kaya niya yun eh. Ikaw, you can have your own brand. Ang daming topics na pwede mong makover. Galing.
Actually, ako parang self-discovery sa akin tong show na to. Because I'm learning as I go. And I'm learning what my style is or what I want it to be. Yung ganun ba?
And now there's wisdom when you share. Yun lang yung okay. Sandali yan, are we on? Usap tayo ng usap dito.
I don't know.
Ano hila?
Are we?
We're live na. Okay. Anyway, all good already, all the best. Level up sa ganap, level up sa saya, mas daring, mas naughty, mas edgy. Level up din sa wawa. Gusto natin bago mag-weekend break, meron tayong magandang baon para sa bakasyon. And as always, we shall level up in terms of relevance and goodwill. Lahat ng kulay, lahat ng opinion, pwedeng palutangin. And today, still on Women's Month, I have someone really, really special to me, a former student and a really good friend na lagi kong sinasabi sa kanya, cargo ko siya sa Diyos. Yan, palagi ko siya pinagdadasal kahit malayo siya ngayon, nasa Alabang na siya. Dati nasa Pasig lang. An outstanding and B-medaled.
Pasig pa rin kami.
Pasig pa ulit. Okay. A well-respected actress and TV host now, Real Talk on the Kapamilya platform. And the first Filipina Asian woman in the International Olympic Committee Executive Board. Hanggang ngayon pa naman. Ito, mahaba yung pangalan niya. Alam ko to since estudyante siya. So, she's Micaela Maria Antonia Mikee de los Reyes Cojuangco Jaworski. Hello, Mikee. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Finally, I'm here with you.
Yes.
Sir Noel.
No, ganon. We originally intended this to be your birthday celebration kasi nga parang ang hirap lang mag-celebrate sa quarantine, but of course buti na lang pumasok dun sa Women's Month. So Mike, when was the last time you visited Ateneo? So this is your reunion of sorts or homecoming of sorts. When?
Of course, feeling ko nandun ako nung nag-homecoming, di ba? Kasi
yes, nung December. It's your batch, no?
Nandun ako nung Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
But I think I was there 2 years ago.
Okay.
Wow, 2 years na yun. Almost 2 years ago. Kasi si Robbie, second year na sa Ateneo. So,
iba na yung mga concerns, di ba?
Oo nga. Alam mo, tatang nawala ako sa Ateneo.
So Robbie's your eldest at sabi ko dyan, at mamaya pag-usapan natin ng dynamics mo with the kids kasi sabi ko si Robbie, ayan yung pwedeng mag-artista pero sabi mo, wag mong sasabihin yan kasi we would want him to finish his school first, di ba?
Yeah.
Okay yun.
Yeah.
So si Robbie po, tingnan nyo yan, parang a really good mix of Mikee and Dodot. So it's that. So 2 years ago in Ateneo, but then, well, of course, your batch had that reunion ng December. Ano yung feeling? I was watching that. Tapos in the middle pa of the pandemic, at grabe yung challenge. Nakakaiyak kasi parang it's really you wanting to like contribute something to society in the end, di ba? Parang Christmas was different, very different, Mike. So, you also had, di ba, may Zoom chat pa kayo ng batch. How was that? Touching base with your batchmates.
Actually, it was really fun. It was well planned. Yung pagiging kasama ko doon as a host, medyo last minute yon kasi yung mga ibang batchmates ko that were in charge of the program, parang 1 week before, alam naman nila yung gusto nilang gawin, pero parang hindi sila sigurado. So, Mikey, can we get some ideas from you? Kami ni Miko, di ba? Halili, can we get some ideas from you? So, sige, sama kami sa Zoom meeting nila, biglang kami na yung host. So, sabi namin, ang gabi niyo mag-corner, ha? Siyempre, hindi naman kami makano, di ba? And then, Actually, I was nervous and excited kasi ang dami ko nang hindi, syempre since college I haven't
Yes,
seen. And
true.
hindi naman dahil mag-batchmate kayo, magkakakilala kayong lahat, di ba?
That's
But it was so much fun because medyo sa end na rin kami eh. So nakita na rin
Yes.
namin lahat ng batches. And I think
Yes.
it was kind of forced to be more meaty, more
That's true.
substantial. Kasi ano gagawin mo sa Zoom screen pag nandun ka
That's
sa
true.
harap na
That's
wala
true.
ka namang masasabi. And the different batches, ang dami nang nako-contribute even if they're
Yes,
overseas.
yes, yes.
Tapos yung mga iba, iilan na lang sila na active.
Yes.
But they continue to contribute to the Ateneo community or
Galing.
through or as the Ateneo community. So
Galing.
nakaka-inspire siya. Kaya by the time na part na namin, iba na yung excitement. And
True.
ayun na nga, may big Zoom, tapos by
Yes.
batch, tapos
Yes.
by course.
Ang
Yung mga
ganda.
iba 2 a.m. na tapos. Ang saya talaga, sobrang saya. Sobrang
And
saya.
what was special is that yung mga kaibigan mo nun, yan yung walang pakialam dun sa Mikee celebrity status, di ba? Yan yung kilala ka at kasama kang nagpapahiram ng notes, di ba? Yun yung mga
Yes.
Oo iba yung
Kasi
yung
parang,
babalik.
diba,
Oo.
hindi naman yung ganun kadami yung naging kaibigan ko in college. Maraming kakilala, pero yung maraming kaibigan kasi marami akong makakonsider na kaibigan, pero yung talagang sobrang close, iilan lang.
Totoo.
Tsaka pumasok ako sa Ateneo,
Mm-mm.
ano na yun, swatch. Very
Yes,
fresh
yes,
yung
yes,
swatch. Kung may mga
yes.
iba na normal sila sa akin, pero hindi ko alam na iniisip na pala nila yung swatch, yung
Sa
gano'n, no?
celebrity pa din.
Pero yung mga talagang iba na naging kaibigan talaga, wala silang pake. Or
Correct.
maybe also, kasi wala rin akong pake.
Oh, and with the limited time you spent in school, di ba? Parang at least these were the people who saw through you. Yun yung
Yes,
yun parang iba talaga yung dealings mo with them. And I saw that tipong they may be few but then iba yung tipo bang mapupuntahan mo dahil yun ba tatanungin kita mamaya, whose advice do you seek? Di ba, if you have problems, these are the college friends na walang interest. Di ba, parang in the end, yun yung sasabihin mo, wala naman siyang pakinabang or walang kabig, pero I trust their gut.
Yes, sa college.
Yeah.
Kasi high school friends, yung talaga sila talaga yung walang pake. Diba? Kasi yung nakita ko nila in all yung talagang like that, diba? Pero
That's
yung
true.
sa college, I think through the different stages of my life, napag-mix ko rin yung high school and college friends.
Yeah.
Even let's say through my wedding, that
Yeah.
my bridesmaids were from all the different, areas of my life. Yung ganun. So,
and then there's
magkakakilala
parang
din sila.
space. It's a good space na people would just like to actually protect you kasi parang huy wag kayong parang babaging pabigat kay Mikee or wag niyo siyang i-expect na saktan, parang ganoon kasi of course yun one question in is that you went to college na nandiyan na si Chris. And parang you've always been compared to her. Pero parang your friends were really so protective na wag niyo siyang isasama dyan sa kanyang discourse because Mikee's different. So how did that feel when you were in college?
I never saw that.
That's
honestly.
true. That's true.
I never saw that. And actually, si Chris, pareho naman din yung school namin nung high school.
Correct,
So it's
correct.
not the first time na nandun yung interaction. And Chris and I are cousins.
Correct.
So, in high school, minsan siya pa maghahatid sa akin sa bahay or yung mga gano'n, no? Kasi, syempre, high school, pare-pareho naman yung dismissal nyo. And it was
Correct.
really actually a comfort for me na nung dumating ako sa Ateneo, nandun pa siya.
Yes.
Wala akong masyadong kilala yung mga kaibigan ko. Sobrang kalat kami. May nag-Saints ko, may nag-UP Manila, may nag-UP Diliman, yung kalat-kalat talaga kami. So wala yung makakapitan ko na from high school to make that transition. So for me, she was one of the things na nag-bring ng comfort sa akin dahil nasa Ateneo siya. But she was a senior.
Correct. Yun nga ang maganda lang. Parang you were parang also the antithesis of what Chris was. No? Parang people are saying in campus, if Chris wanted really high profile, at well siya naman mismo, no? Parang she would
Wala
really
naman siyang choice.
yeah, she would really catch attention. Si Mikey yung hindi. Ikaw talaga yung hindi. As yun, simpleng pasok sa school, ganon, tahimik lang, even with your circle of friends. So, parang, hindi na, mamaya na natin pag-usapan yung sa pandemic, no? But now, here in Level Up, we like celebrate who we were, what we love, and what we stand for, and what's next. So, let's look back dun sa college part. So, memories of college. What kind of student were you, Mike? Like to tell our student viewers. Okay, so you were juggling through that, may swatch na yan. Tapos noon may sports pa, di ba?
Yeah.
May training ka sa polo club palagi. Tapos noon you would go to school, di ba?
Actually, hindi. Sa ano ko nagtitrain nun, saan ba? Sa Lipa.
Sa Lipa. Okay.
Sa Alabang
Okay.
pa.
So,
Sa
but
Alabang
you
pa.
always chose the morning classes, Mike. Ikaw, ang tiyaga mo noon. Why so?
I always chose, hindi naman necessarily the morning classes, either all morning or all afternoon.
Correct.
Tsaka,
Para
as
half
much
day
as
lang.
possible, walang break. Walang break. Para may time ako, either before, although preferably after school to train. Kaya ako rin yung estudyante na hindi mo makikita sa school. Kasi pagdating ko, straight to the classroom, tapos class, tapos alis na ako. I even took theology and philosophy in Filipino.
Correct.
Just so that I could have the schedule that I wanted.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know who's like
But
that? Chris Chu. Chris Chu's like that too. To maximize them the day, one half day lang so that you can do other things after. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, siguro kaya feeling ng tao, simple ako. Kasi hindi nila ako nakikita.
No, but tell them that you would bring your assignments and your homework really in the set, no? To the set when you have movie sets and TV sets.
I nag-showbiz na lang naman ako, senior na ako. I was a senior.
Okay.
And we were shooting forever during the time that I was preparing for Asian Games and doing my thesis.
Yes. So how hard
So
was
magaling
that?
talaga si Lord. The stretch of that period where we were filming, puro kami night effect dun sa diner sa QC.
Yes.
So we would shoot, di ba? Mga 6 p.m. until sunrise.
Yeah.
Pag sikat ng araw, uuwi ako, maliligo ako, tapos I'll go to training. So natutulog ako sa kotse. And then by 10 o'clock, meron akong class film with Father Nick
Cruz, yes.
Father Nick Cruz, yeah.
Yes.
Tapos, a lot of the movies pa na yung pinapanood niya sa amin, napanood ko na.
Yes,
Kasi puro mga
that's good.
films.
Yes.
So usually, napanood ko na. So in class, doon ako medyo nakagano. Pero napanood ko na,
diba?
Napanood ko na. Hindi ko tinulugan yung class niya. Napanood ko na yung mga films niya.
Okay.
And then, tuloy-tuloy yung class ko until mga 2 or 3. And then, after that, nagde-data gathering kami with the fencing team, with the Ateneo fencing team. And then, after our data gathering, diretso na ako sa set.
Galing.
So,
disiplina talaga.
Yes, and actually, kabataan. Kasi hindi ko na kaya siguro.
That's true. Maganda yun, ha? You're self-aware na you cannot not have enough sleep anymore. Di ba?
Yeah,
Parang lost sleep is lost sleep. Di ba? Tapos, tama yun, kabataan, kaya pa yung adrenaline mo, pero you won't subject your body to that anymore. So, do you like tell your sons that? Yung valuable lesson for time management, or you just left them now? Kasi pinagdaanan mo yun.
That's a good question because maraming beses ko na rin nakwento to eh. Pero siguro nakwento ko na rin sa kanila. But I don't know kung na-absorb nila yung gano'n.
Pero but knowing you, Mike?
Na gano'n yung lifestyle ko.
But knowing you, you're not imposing
kasi noon,
You don't impose
Yeah,
on them,
but
diba? Yeah.
no, but at the same time, siguro as a parent, minsan nakalimutan mo na rin na wala sila doon nung pinagdaanan mo yon. Pag
That's
hindi
true.
mo kinwento, hindi mo sinabi, hindi nila malalaman.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
when my kids were growing up, I really poured most of my time and attention on them. Syempre may mga ibang
All of your time, most of your time, really.
Yes. So, in that sense, hindi nila nakita yung Mikey na nagja-juggle, hindi
Yes,
nila nakita
yes.
yung Mikey na hindi natutulog.
Yes.
Tapos may mga times pa, kunyari sasabihin nila, Daddy, can you buy us ganito? No, hindi pwede, mahal yan, ganyan. Sasabihin nila, Mommy, you should work because if you work, hindi na mahal yan kasi may pera na tayo.
Wow. Galing.
Yun. So, in a way, it was like frustrating because akala nila na komportable lang yung buhay ko at buhay namin. Yung hindi mo kailangan mag-hirap or magpursige to have a comfortable life. Of course, they were young. But it was, we learned from our kids also na pag hindi mo sinabi, hindi mo pinakita, hindi nila matututunan. And a lot of what I learned in life is from experience, not from the classroom.
Yes. So you process things with them. So knowing you, like now that you're focused on your kids and your family, you process things with them. And like, galing, no? Parang you share these things.
We try. Because I think it's difficult for them to imagine. Although growing up, Mommy, bakit maraming nagpapapicture sa'yo? Mommy, who's that? Parang, who's that? Do you know them? How come they know you?
Yes.
Yung ganon.
So, but if there's anything,
but it's different.
You provide them
What's
context.
that?
If there's anything yon, very Mikey, yung you provide them context and you provide everything with
Yes,
context, no?
But also there's Google.
Balik tayo.
May mga times na biglang may sasabihin sila tapos, what? Where did you hear that? Tapos biglang, kasi Mommy, we Googled you. Okay.
Like yun na yun. No, let's go through the memory, yung look back natin. No? So, saan yung tambayan ni Mikey? We can't say of any tambayan, di ba? Kasi you were there lang 1/2 day. Pero,
may mga times naman, di ba, na nade-dismiss early. So, ayun, nasa office mo, isang tambayan ko yun.
Kasi overlooking everyone yung office, di ba, nung sa Kolay ko, parang makikita mo sila.
Kitang-kita yung tapos pag halimbawa marami nang dumadaan, ibig sabihin nun, naglilipatan na ng class, di ba?
Yes.
Tapos, sa office ng Miss Rosales, madalas din ako sa office. Yes. And also in the library.
Reserve section ng library, di ba yun ikaw? May mga cubicles sa library. Yes, doon ka natutulog. Kung nagnanap kung minsan.
Yes.
Yun.
But it was never my intention to nap in the library. It was always my intention to study.
That's true. But then, parang it was a safe refuge.
It was just an intention. Intention lang pala siya.
Ang galing. No.
Don't tell Bon.
Favorite subjects, Mike, when you were in college? Yung things that stuck with you. Parang maganda nga yung sabi mo, no? The things you learned, siguro you learned discipline, I guess, or the values in college. Pero much of what you carried were really not the book learned lessons, no, but more of the things that stuck to you. Sino yung ano yung mga klase na talagang nag-stick sa iyo hanggang ngayon?
Polsci.
That's good. Sino teacher mo?
Polsci, si Sir, nasa na siya ngayon
Okay.
Yun na talaga. You know, you were just talking about him the other day, so I don't know, I can't remember.
Sir Lavinia? No. Polsci?
No, I hope he's not watching because nag-message pa nga ako sa kanya sa FB Sabi ko, Sir, nasa ka kayo? Later. Kasi may naisip akong ibang teacher na...
What stuck with you?
na
What stuck with you sa Pulsai? What
that
lesson
he treated me so badly in the beginning of the
Oh,
course. He really
okay.
treated me so badly. He had such a bias against me. Yung talagang tinitira niya ako sa class.
Okay, okay.
Pero, tsaka SK ako noon. Sa Tarlac ako
Yes,
nakatira
yes,
noon.
yes.
I was injured. I was injured at that time. So, hindi ako nakakapag-training.
One question, Mike. One question. Were you more receptive to mga terror teachers or yun sa batch nyo na yata yung tipong mas maganda kaibigan mo and you're more open to learning? Kasi nag-iba na, di ba? When we were younger, yung mga terror teachers are the ones making an impact. Pero now, sa generation nyo yata, mas open yung mga tao to learning pag magkaibigan kayo ng teacher mo. So, that professor stuck with you kasi nga, terror siya nung umpisa.
Gusto ko kasi yung a teacher that engages me, a teacher that I can learn from because we have conversations.
Correct.
Or may challenge kasi hindi naman ako bastos. Pero hindi rin naman ako nagpapabastos.
Correct.
So, in this case, the reason na nag-stick siya sa akin was because by the end of that semester, we actually had become not friends, but kasi teacher-student pa rin. Pero nagkaroon kami ng mutual
engagement. That's good.
He even wrote me a note and said that your name means strength. And I hope that one day you will be able to display that strength and serve our country. So from the start, nagalit siya sa akin dahil Cojuangco ako. At some point, I learned because he became willing to teach me. And instead of pahirapan niya ako. In contrast to other teachers who just told lies about me.
That's true.
And when it's like that, ako wala. Sorry, I cannot learn from you no matter what you're trying to teach me. I will pass your class kasi hindi ako bobo. Pero it doesn't mean na I'm learning from you from my heart. And I learn best when I learn from my heart. So, you know what? You never taught me anything. Meron akong teacher na ganon.
Okay.
May
Pero
hugot.
at least parang parang you know what you don't want to be. Na parang gano'n yung tipong, lalo na when you're a parent, diba, educator ka rin pag parent ka na eh. So, alam mo kung kailan matututo yung mga anak mo. Lalo na ngayon, Mike's online learning, and I'll ask you that later. Ang hirap
Actually,
yan.
Tatang, it's more difficult as a parent because kasi nagko-coach din naman ako ng equestrian. It's so easy. It's so easy to know and I'm a psych graduate, so it's so easy to know what strategy to take. When it's someone else's child, because you're more objective pero pag anak mo na, ang hirap, parang lahat ng ayaw kong maging bilang isang magulang, alam na nila, yung ganon. So, if there's anyone probably who has seen the worst side of me, it's probably them
Your
also.
children, No, but napalagi natin ito pinag-uusapan our test of yung kung ano yung dapat course na dapat o yung way natin into another person is that i-take mo yung position nung kausap mo, yung tuturuan mo, will they learn something? Kasi yun parang yun yung test of goodness mo kung kaya ba nila yung way mo, yung manner mo. So you apply that to your kids. Paano yan? What kind of a teacher are you sa mga bata?
Sa mga bata.
I'm
different with each one of them.
Yeah.
Dahil iba rin yung personalities nila.
Galing, no?
So, with Robbie, I'm a lot more myself. Yung the good, the bad, and the ugly. He's the one who sees it all. Because he's the one that I have that kind of relationship with. Si Raph naman, he's very quiet, he's very sensitive. So, I have to approach all of them differently. Ang
Galing.
common lang naman sa kanilang lahat sila matitigas ang ulo.
Kasi naman, parehong sports personality yung mga magulang. So talagang may ganong strength of character, no, maaga pa lang. But the thing here is your psych background equipped you into not boxing people into yun one size fits all, no, na pagtuturo. Kundi may sarili talagang yun. Again, back to your favorite word now, context. May sariling background. So yun, maganda yun. So yun. Next, whose advice, kaninong advice yung pinakikinggan mo? Sabi natin nga yung walang kabig. Ano yung advice na nag-stick sa'yo from college hanggang ngayon? Yung parang, yung merong, yung palagi mong binabalikan na tipong, Mikes, parang ako, yung isa sa mga advice dati, yung learn how to say no. Kasi nung bata tayo, di ba, yes lahat, pati mga kaibigan, pati lahat mga commitments. But then, yun, the painful part is yun, saying no. And then I learned it from some teacher who would say, we are also defined by the things we say no to. Ikaw, ano yung advice na palaging naglilinger na sa'yo or paulit-ulit sa'yo?
I think that's hard because ang daming taong naging influential sa buhay ko.
Tama naman.
Not just because of kung ano yung sinabi nila na advice mismo, advice per se, but because maybe of how they treated me or how they reacted to me depending on certain things that I did.
Or modeling, no? Or modeling. Their lives are inspiration or examples na pwede mong sundan.
Yes, but in a way it's not so much siguro that, but in my interactions with those people, kasi whether siya yung naging utility sa TV show ko before, yung Mikee, or EP, or producer, or even my parents or my sisters, or yung nag-aalaga ng kabayo ko, or you know what I mean, it's or yung nagdadrive sa akin na habang tulog ako, nasa kamay nila yung buhok ko. Kasi yun lang ginagawa.
I have to say that, I have to emphasize that kasi yan din, kitang-kita ngayon, kasi palagi natin pinag-uusapan to, no? Alam mo yung mabuting tao, yung mabait na tao, kung mabait siya sa pinakamaliliit or underprivileged na mga tao, ikaw yon. Actually, thank you for that. You're mentioning yun nga, yung utility, kasi yun doon mo nasusukat na hindi lang yung person of authority yung pinapahalagahan. So that's one really good.
Well, I think kasi, okay, yung sinasabi mong advice na bumabalik-balik, okay, is, I remember I was 8 years old the first time na sinabi ng dad ko sa akin. Parang ang pagkasabi pa niya, so, who do you think you are?
Wow.
I said, what? Who do you think you are? Parang, I don't know. I was 8. I remember. I was 8, and he said to me, have you done anything in this world?
Wow.
And I said, no, because I'm 8. Sabi ko sa kanya, I remember so well. And he said, yes, but you have so much. You have so much, but you haven't done anything in this world. So, hindi ka pwedeng maging mayabang. Hindi ka pwedeng maging hindi mabait.
Galing.
Sabi niya, and it's your duty to find a way to be a blessing to others because you have so many blessings that you don't deserve.
Talaga sinabi yung you don't deserve. So you had to
kasi wala pa daw akong ginagawa sa buhay ko. So sabi ko, syempre, 8 pa lang ako. So, my dad would repeatedly give me that speech at different stages of my life. Even the last one being even only a few years ago. So, yun. So literally yun yung bumabalik-balik na sermon kasi inulit niya.
And I guess it's something that you'd pass on to your children. Na tipong, well, the entitlement of this generation, di ba? Yeah. Ibang klase
Yeah.
yung
It's
entitlement nung na tipong it's bursting your bubble pero it grounds you. Yun.
I think the difficult thing about this generation, and probably the challenge that a lot of parents like me go through, is that they're very different because they
That's true.
are so much more exposed,
Yeah.
so much more, they see so much more, and they're exposed in a way
That's
that
true.
we never
That's
were
true.
before.
That's true.
And as parents, we all fear the same thing. Pareho
Yeah.
yung kinatatakutan namin as parents, but at the same time, because the enemy is largely unseen,
Yes.
hindi namin alam na how to go to each other as parents to be able to say na sige, mag-vote in tayo mga magulang para iisa lang yung mga patakaran sa mga bahay natin. Yung ganon, tapos marirealize mo lang yan, lampas ka na dun sa stage na pwede mong gawin yun. Ganon. So it's very frustrating, really.
And now, but there's too many options for them and too many distractions actually, Mikes, di ba? That they have to sift through with ibang klase. They have to sift through the noise.
It's very confusing. I feel bad for this generation. I really, really sympathize with this generation because there is so much clutter, and and they don't realize that it's clutter. Because first and foremost, what we should be looking for is ano ba yung mga God-given talents natin.
Galing.
Kasi dun tayo pwedeng mag-shine. That's what we can develop. It's too easy now to get into something na trendy or something na uso. Tapos pag hindi okay, susuko ka na, move on to the next thing. So it's very confusing. Hindi ko kaya.
Di ba? The attention span, di ba? And then ito pa yung hindi nila kaya, Mikes. And then I would like go back to our being in the office, in my office, and you just be silently reading your books or silently doing your assignments. This generation, mahirapan i-handle yung silence. And then we had this talk na sabi mong ganun, some people, at yung hinahanap mo actually na partner during that time, kasi marami nang liligaw sa'yo, somebody who's comfortable also with silence. Kasi sabi mo, ganun ka kasi, pwede kang tahimik at naiintindihan yung katahimikan mo. This generation, nahihirapan doon, di ba?
Actually, you're right. And the scary thing is that even when they're being silent in their minds, that's when it's noisier. I feel so blessed actually, and in a way I wonder how to protect my kids or people that we care about from that, because I fall into the trap myself.
That's true.
I fall into the trap. Kumbaga, pag wala kang ginagawa, unang gagawin mo, open mo yung phone mo, tapos ano ba yung pwede kong gawin? Anong pwede kong gawin? Pero hindi ko muna gagawin yung work ko kasi wala akong enough time na matapos yung work ko. So, to pass some time, I'm gonna do something that's meaningless.
That's true.
That I'm gonna forget. So, and then, Tatang, even social media, when I look in social media, I look at, kasi hindi ako katulad ni Regine. Si Regine, kahit pag bilat niya ng mata niya, pipicture niya yung sarili niya, she can post it. That's how amazing that person is.
That's true.
She's like that. I'm not like that. If you follow me on social media, you can see my posts are few and far between, very deliberate, always always there's a message or a reason to post.
That's true. You're very Lucy Torres. Si Lucy,
oh, really?
diba?
But Lucy posts a lot more than me. Yeah, but also for me, it's like, but I do look in social media. I lurk, I browse.
Yes.
And when I see posts of some people, minsan, pati ako, sasabihin ko, ay, buti pa sila. may ganyan. Ay, buti pa sila, nakakaganyan sila. And then I catch myself and I say, Hoy, excuse you. Anong
That's
karapatan mo?
Galing,
Diba?
galing, galing. Because the best moments are not on social media, Mikes. You live it, di ba?
Oh yeah.
That's
And I think that's why I'm so bad at taking pictures. Kasi nung birthday ko, sabi ni Dodot sa akin, hindi ko ba kukuha kahit isang picture? Kasi, ay, oo nga pala. Sabi niya, palagi mong sinasabi, ay, wala tayong picture, wala tayong picture. Why don't you ever take pictures? Sabi niya, I forget.
Because you are in the moment. Because you are in the moment.
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm also sad kasi walang picture.
Walang remembrance. No, but the thing here is, diba, iba pa rin yung nararamdaman and it sticks to you. Well, merong iba talaga na social media savvy. Pero, well, it needs a lot of balancing act, I guess. And then let the kids do it for you, no?
You know, I find kasi na kapag sasabihin ko sa sarili ko, ay, kailangan ko mag-post ng ganito or gusto ko mag-post ng ganyan, I feel that I change. Kasi parang nasa mind ko na, ay, kailangan mag-ayos ako ng buhok, ay, kailangan maganda yung back, ay, kailangan ganyan. Tsaka hindi ako mag-post yung nakikita yung bahay ko. It's not for any reason. I'm just not like that. Even my kids, they know, don't post yung ganito, don't post yung nakikita yung bahay or yung ganyan or yung ganito. I mean, it's not that I'm trying to hide anything, but I just like privacy. To value my privacy.
That's true. Yeah. Galing. Kasi, Mike's, it's a totally different view now that parang it seems like everything's consumed by the public, no? Parang ako, buti na lang meron pa ring mga tao who hold on to that sense of privacy. Di ba? So, yun. And that notion na not everything's on social media. Yun yung ano.
Either that or tamad lang ako.
Hindi. No, pag gusto mo naman, Mike, ginagawan mo ng paraan. Let's go back to our memories, no? When were you happiest in college as a student? Can you go back to the time para people would like learn more from it? Kasi daw yon, the things that stick to you, pag extreme yung emotions, mahalaga. So, kailan ka pinakamasaya?
Honestly, I was always happy. I was always happy because I was grateful to have a life as a student, to have a life as an athlete.
Yes.
Felt like I made those choices. I felt like I had to make the most out of those choices. So I enjoyed na pag nasa school ako, medyo may pagka-nerd. You were. This kasi you were my teacher more than one.
You were. Parang you were focused as a student kasi parang making for the time, di ba?
Yes.
Yeah, kasi
gusto ko yung nasa harap ako umuupo, palaging kompleto yung notes ko, palagi akong nakikinig.
Yes.
Kasi I participate because when I'm out of school, my mind is the farthest place of my mind was school.
Yes,
I'm training, and then when I was training, I was also happy. I was happy to be achieving something, even on a daily basis. You know, small goals, mga ganon. Tapos pag uwi ko, happy ako kasi mahal ko yung pamilya ko.
Galing.
Supportive sila sa akin, tsaka makakahiga na ako sa
na you were a multitasker umpisa pa lang. Di ba?
Parang,
you were really good at juggling things. Yes.
I have a coach. Had a coach who was also for many years a middle school principal. Australian siya. Hindi siya yung coach ko, pero he's visited the Philippines a number of times, and he said, "Oh, you have a background in psychology." Sabi ko, "Yeah." And he said, okay, so you answer me this. Are you willing to admit that you are not a multitasker and that actually there's not much of a thing as a successful multitasker?
Sabi mo, ako.
Tapos kinuwento ko sa kanya. Ito pinag-uusapan natin. Sabi niya, yeah, but you were not multitasking. You were in the moment.
Yeah, totoo
of
naman.
where you were. And then you move on to something else.
Totoo naman yan.
Oo. So yun, naiintindihan ko yung sinasabi niya. And I also am so blessed to have many opportunities offered to me
Yes.
and to have a mom who was excited for me and made me take those opportunities.
That's
Siya yung palaging nagsasabi sa akin na, take it, do it. If you don't like it, get out.
Galing, no?
You always have an option, but if something is offered to you, of course, something good, not something bad, not
That's
drugs
true.
or whatever, or
That's true.
something shady, diba?
That's
Take it, make the most of it, enjoy it. If you like it, pursue it. If you don't like it, get out.
Galing.
And
Galing.
people always support your choices. So for me, that was one of the most
Galing.
encouraging mindsets na
That's
everything
true.
is an adventure.
And a blessing, no? Na tipong,
Yes,
and you
yes.
were also blessed, Mikes, with really good people. Di ba? Ikaw, marunong kang pumili and people gravitate to the good people. Siguro yun yung na-attract mo rin kasi yun yung ini-emit mong energy. Kasi if you're with the best people na nakapaligid sa'yo, nakukuha mo yun eh. And even you're being offered the best opportunities. So yun nga. So after school, no, there was show business, and then 1994 forever, and we were just saying it parang, oh, it's a dear heart of your generation. Totoo naman, Mikes, no? But did you see it as a cautionary tale of your love story?
What do you mean?
Na tipong, okay, you never knew it, but it will be your love story.
Well, actually, no, it wasn't my love story, but you have to remember that I was not an actress.
That's true. Yun na nga yung novelty doon, Mikes eh. Nakita ko yung kaba mo nun, ha? But you emerged. You really immersed yourself into show business also to like be able to like embrace the industry. Pero Mikes, ito yung after nag-premiere ng Forever na yung batch mo yung nag-sponsor, I remember really us going to Christ the King. Tapos inoffer mo yung bouquet na yun. Tapos sabi ko, surrender na. Kung ano mang lalabas ng pelikula, kalalabasan ng pelikula, ikaw na yung bahala. Parang, well, it's really blending whatever it is, a faith and then the industry. Tapos yun, ito sa unexplored territory. Yes,
Yeah,
you weren't
it
an
was.
actress. You weren't an actress, but then you slipped into it quite comfortably.
Well,
How did you do it?
Again, the project was tailor-made for
That's
me.
true also, yes.
It was written to suit what I was capable of, I
Yeah,
guess.
that's true.
And I had the best director
Yes,
who
yes.
cared about the project.
Malasakit, no? Totoo. And
Yeah.
malasakit sa iyo. Parang kasi some
Malasakit.
people will just like finish the product tapos wala yung well-being mo trample, 'di ba? Parang ganon.
But kasi Roel was my Swatch director, and yun pa lang alam niya na siguro kung anong dapat niyang i-expect dun sa Forever.
That's true. Ito gustong ipatanong ni Lorna. Ito si Lorna nanonood. Wasn't it hard for you to be there with Aga Mulak, who was trying to pursue you, and a director who really was in love with you also?
May ganon.
Oo
But
naman.
you know what?
It was a source of inspiration though.
I didn't, because that's his character. He's
That's
a
true.
passionate person.
That's
He's
true.
an artist, diba? And that's what he expects of himself. So in a
That's
way, I had to also, as someone who also respected him a lot
That's true.
and grateful for taking care of me, with project, etc. Ako, kailangan gawin ko din yung part ko. Tapos, and then, of course, Aga, regardless of what he was thinking or feeling or whatever, we were also friends. And
True.
the support was always there. Even like, Patos, Viva.
Yes, of course. Of course, it was a
Tita,
family.
Gina,
Yes. It
diba?
was a whole family.
You know what? It's not that good people gravitate to me. It's
Mhm.
that the Lord has been so kind to surround me with
That's true.
people
That's
who are not just competent but good at what they do.
yeah.
And on their own, they want to be excellent.
That's
Sila
true.
mismo.
That's
So
true.
it's so easy to work with people who want to be excellent
That's true.
because you do your part, I do my part, the puzzle pieces fit.
Galing, galing, no? Na tipong mahihiya ka na lang if you don't deliver. But
Exactly.
in the end, parang you're in that circle na hindi lang excellence yung kailangan, kundi may goodwill.
Yes.
Yung yun, may
Yeah.
pagmamahal, may malasakit sa'yo. So, was it hard? Yung tipong, o yan, going after forever was a benchmark, Mike. Di ba parang after forever, ang hirap tumanggap ng ibang project kasi parang it was tailor-made for you.
Yes.
So,
Tatang, wait lang.
go, 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 go.
Put on
Ayan.
a t-shirt, I'll introduce you.
Pag
Go,
nananay na ba yan or pagiging asawa?
Si Robbie.
Harap. My next artist. The next artist.
Ay, nako, spoken for.
Oh, I know. But then, parang, I'll support you, whatever. Kung ano man,
Okay.
pero finish your studies.
Yes. Okay. So was it hard? I think after forever it was hard because I didn't have anymore the hand holding
That's true.
of Direct Roel.
Yeah, that's true.
Parang it was I was never on my own, of course, but I
Yes.
really had to rely on Tita Girlie,
Yes.
and then I really
The Virgie also.
of course Tita Virgie, because they were always the gauge, kumbaga.
Yeah.
Si Tita Virgie, siya yung parang you have to make sure that it's not baduy, diba? Of course,
No,
it really goes without saying what her role was. It was. I also was able to rely a lot on the fear that people had for my dad.
Yes. Ang maganda nun, parang everyone wanted you to succeed and then your story was aspirational. Yung tipong I would want to be a Mikee. So it was hard then, di ba, na ikaw yung bagong idol ng 90s. Well, yun,
You
parang,
know what? But I never saw it
Totoo
that
yan.
way because
Totoo
first and foremost, I was a fan.
yes.
You know, like, when, kunyari, mag-guest ako sa show, tapos andun si Sharon, hindi ako wala. Parang,
Totoo. No, pero ang way mo naman, naging kaibigan mo si Casey. Di ba?
Yeah.
Parang that was a good parang slipping into show business.
but
And then,
I was only 16.
I know. Tapos ito yung maganda pang nangyari. I guess one of the better movies after forever was Doremi.
Yes.
It forged really good friendships.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know we were campaigning and then sina Regine and Donna were there really helping you campaign
Yes,
for
yeah.
your family. So parang ako, yun, parang ang ganda lang ng mga choices mo even ng mga kaibigan. Because until now, sina Reg at saka sina Donna
Yeah.
are good friends of yours.
Yes, definitely. The last time na nag-textan kami was just yesterday, and it's
Galing.
quite a regular,
Ang galing.
exchange.
Ang galing.
Regardless.
Anong learning doon, Mike? Anong learning doon na tipong noon, parang alam mo naman sa industriya natin na parang ang daming transient na relationships or acquaintances, mga ganyan. Pero ikaw, parang nava-value mo or napipick out mo yung tipong, ito tatagal. Hindi man kayo madalas magkita pero nandun lang present yung mga tao. How do you maintain that?
It's not really me. I mean,
okay.
it's us.
That's true.
Kasi si Regine, ganun na lang talaga kabait na tao si Regine.
Ay, totoo, selfless, no?
Tapos si Donna is really one of the sweetest people.
Mm-hmm.
And siguro it's even more Donna than anyone who initiates the conversation.
Galing.
So yun, parang iba-iba.
And you're all grown up. Parang ngayon, ang dami na ibang konteksto na nga ulit yung pinanggagalingan nyo. But somehow, what binds you together? Ano pa ba yung common ground ninyo?
I don't know. I think the joy that we experience in work na mas, that scene, the final scene of
Yes.
when we were on stage in Doremi.
Yeah.
Yun din yung one of our last shooting days. Kaya ganun din kasi we were really dreading the end of the project.
Iba, no? Yeah.
It was really special, and the I don't know how to describe it, pero talagang nag-click lang kami. And
Ang
the
maganda, Mikes, yun nga, bawat isa sa inyo stood for something, yung excellence nyo in some aspect in your lives. So parang,
the characters in the movie were very natural for
ibang-iba
us.
talaga yan. Sige, kunyari mo, si Donna nandun sa Cebu, nakapangasawa ng doktor, concentrated on her family, fought for her love. Then, si Regine, ayan, she's the songbird, the parang greatest performer now. And then ikaw, nasa sports. Di ba? Parang bawat isa sa inyo nag-excel sa sarili nyo. But you never thought of being excellent, but you just jived. And then as friends, nag-work.
Yes. And the dynamics, the roles that we played in our friendship and in the movie are still similar to how we are now.
Galing.
So, I mean, I have to give credit also to the Viva bosses, Neo Films.
Yes, Neo
Because nakita nila yon, you know,
Mhm.
things that you don't
That's
look
true.
at yourself, but they are looking pala at you.
Correct.
Tapos yung writers, iniisip, paano ba natin gagawin to? Tapos in a way, it was like, yan ang role ko, yan na naman, palagi na lang ganyan. Tapos, sige na, okay lang, bahala na. But it was so easy. It was like,
Galing.
take na tayo. Take na. You know what I mean? It's like,
yes.
it was such a joy. It was such a...
Yes.
And actually, it also was, I think at that stage then of our lives and our careers, it was like Doremi was my second to the last movie.
Yes.
And not long after Doremi, I met Dot. And Donna also got married, and very, yun yung parang mas nagkatotoo na movie, diba? So in a way, we were at a stage of our lives when we were not young, competitive actors.
Correct.
You know what I mean? It was like,
Relax, chill lang, not trying to prove anything already. And then may magandang point doon yung parang nandun na kayo sa plateau ba na tipong kailangan iangat, or the reinvention part, which is another part of your life already. Na galing.
Yeah, that made us more comfortable with our own selves, like our own personalities, our own differences, and we appreciated each other. We loved each other from the start. So when you have that kind of support system and that kind of acceptance,
galing.
it's the exact example and more of how work is pleasure.
Mike, nakita mo, di ba, yung parang recurring theme mo na tipong people coming to you, or parang people gathering lang ng tamang purpose. Parang ganon, you're just so blessed with those right people and the right choices. Kasi kung hindi, parang pero parang may mga ganyan, pero alam mong mag-sift through that. Yung magandang learning. Now, any other lessons pa in show business? Kasi ngayon parang tama yung far and few, and then pero may purpose kung bakit ka lumalabas. Sabi ko sa'yo, ang saya-saya ko nung panood kita ulit with John Lloyd, di ba, and Sarah. Yun, parang, oy, ang ganda na tipong mayroong dahilan bakit ka lumalabas. So, what would compel you to go back and take on showbiz assignments?
Because I enjoyed it. I really loved what I was doing. And even before naman, bago ako nag-showbiz, I was always part of the drama club, part of the productions and stuff. So it's not as if pinasok ko lang siya, pinaglaruan ko lang siya na as an experience or as an adventure. I mean, I really embraced it, and I really tried to be the best that I could be.
Ako na yung mamalaki. When you stepped into like Forever, for example, you were Star Awards first most promising female artist, di ba? Parang ikaw yung best, parang the best new female, parang
Yes,
best
oh
new
yeah,
actress. Ikaw yon, hindi mo ipagmamalaki, pero nung nag-start yung Star Awards, ikaw yon. So at least you were recognized for that effort, and you really try to make a mark kung ano man yung papasukin mo. So now, yun nga, pinag-usapan natin bago tayo nag-start, I really see you in a talk show, Mike. And I'm happy. I was happy like you got into real talk. Pero yung sinasabi ko sa'yo, kaya mo yan. Kaya mo yung mag-isa. Actually, you've been wanting that too, no? Parang, what was it? Parang a natural progression na pwede mong gamitin yung pagka-psych major mo, pagka-nanay mo, and all the varied experiences that you have in processing people's stories.
You know, I think as a person, I really just appreciate others.
Yes.
Other people's stories, other people's experiences, and how other people are necessary pieces to the puzzle that the world is. So real talk is I'm actually a guest co-host, and I was supposed to be 2 episodes lang.
Talaga? No, they should retain you and then hire you for a show of your own. I'm getting that.
But honestly, it's a project.
Yeah.
It's a passion project that was conceptualized by Christian and former employees of ABS-CBN. Former because they're retrenched. Kasi nawala yung franchise ng ABS. And
kasama pa si Chit dyan?
Yes.
Yes. Because I see the credits.
And it's really amazing how God works, because without the backstory, I don't know if I would have been as enthusiastic to join and stay in the project, because the ultimate goal of the project is to glorify God.
Actually, yes. Pero sabi ko nga, sana bumalik sa mga experiences mo para alam nyo kung paano, after the Word of God, parang to make it doable. Sabi ko, uy, salita ka pa, Mike. I know you still have a lot of things to say. Pero good na rin.
Yeah, we try kasi na as much as possible to give the time for what our guests are saying. Of course, right? Kasi syempre, iba pala yung host ka. Kasi talagang host ka.
Totoo, nakikinig.
Inviting someone to your home also, na sila they come before you, their stories, so it's been a very enriching experience for me, because siguro kahit na nag-co-host ako like with Chris, di ba? Good morning, Chris. I started out dapat 1-2 weeks, tapos naging 3 months na pala ako araw-araw doon. Tapos to the point na nagbakasyon na siya, iniwan niya ako doon.
That's true.
But it's just the Lord's timing is always perfect.
That's true.
And if not for the pandemic, if not for lockdown, I wouldn't have.
Hindi nangyayari. Totoo rin naman, no? But it opened your mind to, it's something I like or I'm comfortable doing.
I never really knew.
Talaga, Mike?
And then now, kasi I was asking myself before, sanay ako na ini-interview ako. Marunong kaya ako mag-interview.
But you're natural, di ba? Nakikinig, magaling ka makinig. Yun yung maganda doon.
Siguro ngayon na lang. Siguro ngayon na lang. I don't know kung dati, kung magiging ganun ako. And to give credit to our writers, I'm not asking anything really that they have not suggested. Maybe I ask in my words kasi, di ba? Because
or you give them context. Pero Mike's ito yung maganda dito. Now, kasi dati sabi mo nga sanay ka na ikaw yung ni-interview. Now it's an experience of of selflessness when you're the one listening. Yung tipong, di ba, yung ikaw yung taga-tanggap and taga-proseso na it's not about you. It's
Yeah.
not about
Yes.
you, it's about their stories.
Yes.
No? Parang it's empowering them. Ang ganda nun, yung shift na,
Exercise. It's an exercise in
oo, hindi ikaw yung bida, di ba? Parang you don't use big words kasi gusto mo sila yung palutangin. Sabihin mo na lang na, huwag naman masyadong marami so we can get into, kasi di ba yung sa TV, ang exercise dyan, maraming storya para engaging kasi yung attention span ng mga tao. But then, iba din kasi yung quality ng talk, yung lumalalim palalo when
Yeah.
you get
Yeah.
to talk to them.
Actually, well, yeah, that reminds me also of one of the reasons why I was prepared to leave showbiz.
Okay, why?
Because,
Ayan.
well, of course, aside from being so in love and ready to move on to the
I
next
know.
stage
Yes.
of my
Your
life,
family life.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was also because siguro naano na rin ako, parang I had frustration with the industry.
That's true.
Yeah, I had frustration with the industry, with ratings.
I
And
know. And then,
revenues,
well,
yeah.
they favor people na, maingay or flamboyant. Yung tipong ganun, or sensational. Di ba? Parang may ganong leaning na tipong, that will rate because it will create controversy,
And
di ba?
I didn't have a problem with that in many ways, in the
Mhm.
sense na I enjoyed also making fun of myself. You know, we had so many top rating episodes of Mikey dahil
Mhm.
ginawan katawa-tawa yung itsura ko, yung ganon. And for me, I welcomed it because it was fun. It was fun for me. But of course, after 5 years, it was also, yung Mikey, there were a lot of directors na first time silang nag-direct doon,
Mhm,
or
mhm.
nag-umpisa sila sa other roles within production and eventually,
Mhm.
work their way up. And I really enjoyed,
Yeah.
even if we had so many new personalities na first time nilang mag-act, all of us, we had to extend our patience a lot.
Yes.
Because and it was okay with me because
Yeah.
before people did it for me. You
Yeah.
know? So
Now,
for me, it was okay. But then at a certain point, we weren't really doing as much of that, and the scripts felt familiar. Some
mhm.
were too familiar, and some were things that we should do this because this will rate. And
Fun.
I got tired. I
Yeah.
got burnt out of
Yeah.
that because also never in my career did I really feel like I had an obligation or a responsibility to someone else other than
Galing.
myself.
Galing.
So I was very focused on
Now, maganda yung point na yun. What did you do nung nasa brink ka ng burnout? Ano yung lesson ng mga tao na pwedeng makuha na how do you deal with burnout? Because even the Sarah Hieronymus of the world would like say, okay, I need a break. What do you do?
well, we changed format to
That's
something
true.
that was something that
Excited, that will
pinagbigyan naman
excite
nila
you.
ako Pinagbigyan naman nila ako. But we
Okay.
were not able to really execute to
Okay.
the point of the vision of the
Okay.
formatting
Okay.
because of practical reasons.
Okay.
So wala,
Yeah.
even me myself, I was part of why we couldn't do it that way that we wanted to. And
Or
basically,
people wanted or you wanted a transition also with your life.
yes,
Also, no?
yes, but I guess I didn't know how, and and probably people may or may not have been ready.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the case is, I think that I was looking to do something na mas may social impact.
Galing. And Mike's, before we take a break, what was the lesson there in your whole entertainment career? Ano yung takeaway ng mga tao when they glean through your experiences and your achievements as an entertainment presenter and as a performer? Ano yung pwede nilang pulot? Mikey as the as the
You
showbiz
mean what,
personality?
about me or about my experiences?
Your experiences. So anong wisdom anong learning na pwede mong ma-share? Or inspiration na pwedeng makuha ng mga tao?
Well, I guess this is not just in showbiz, but also in every aspect. That when you're given an opportunity,
That's true.
especially when you're given multiple opportunities, you have to treat each one of them with the same amount of respect.
Ang galing.
Because there are people there na doon nakasalalay ang buhay nila.
Tama yun.
Even if ikaw hindi doon nakasalalay ang buhay mo, sa kanila doon. So you have to give them or your work that amount of importance because of its importance to someone
Galing.
that is helping further yourself.
Galing. Yun, Mikes. We'll just take midterm break. And we'll be joined by students who are inspired by you.
Wow.
And they'll be the ones asking you questions and then relive your being a student. Yung tipong ikaw na ngayon yung teacher. Ikaw na yung hindi magtuturo pero recollections of your the lessons you've learned para ma-share sa kanila. That's yun naman yung natin, di ba? Parang in the end, tayo naman yung mag-share sa kanila. So, we'll just take a break. Tuloy lang natin yung chismisan natin habang nagpapakita sila ng konting reminders dun sa Radyo Katipunan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All caps, mga Atenista! It's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM. Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle. Radyo Katipunan is now online. See our live feed on facebook.com/Radyo Katipunan. Check out our Instagram and our Twitter at Radyo Katipunan and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Radyo Katipunan FM for more exclusive content. We are now on YouTube. Watch all of our live episodes plus exclusive content in our channel at Radyo Katipunan FM. Don't forget to click subscribe and hit the bell to get the latest updates. Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay Atenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng kwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugod, todo sa kayod, dunong at tulog. Lipat na Blue Eagle, kaning giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, Katipunan, radyo, 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 Katipunan.
Kaps, mga Atenista, it's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo-Katipunan 87.9 FM.
Are in class. So may paisa-isa. Ayan, si Ella. Ella Sario here is one student.
Buti pa sila, they're in class. Yung anak ko halos walang class.
My God.
Really?
Grabe.
Sasabihin ko sana punchline. But you always have class, Mike. Kung hindi, papatayin ka namin.
As in,
Sinabi mo talaga online. Ayaw mo
I
na.
don't know.
Anyway,
class.
we're on live. We're on live again.
All right.
Anyway,
I don't understand why he's only going to class once or twice a week.
nobody. Yung online classes. Sabi mo, ikaw lang yung taga-ayos ng technology. Pati ba sa content? Anyway, we're on to our second hour and we're supposed to be joined by students asking you questions. But then, here's their teacher, our colleague and our friend. Cholo Maliling Cholo, hello.
Hello.
I had
Hello,
fun in your
everybody.
class.
Glad to be back on RK. For, I only get to guest spot every now and then. Thanks for inviting me, Noel. And glad to see Mikee again after such a very long time. I'm pretty sure she doesn't remember me.
Of course I do.
Really?
The last
Sorry.
was,
Ayaw maging assuming.
Cholo
Yes.
gave me the Himigsikan parang souvenir program, and you were there with Hans as host. Sa last part yung sa songwriting.
Oh my gosh,
But
talaga?
we're reviving it this year after a long time. Sabi namin sana we can have you and Hans again. Kasi grabe, the best songs yun na talaga came from Himigsikan. Well, at least sa Ateneo. So we're reviving the tradition. But Cholo, I had fun in your class last Monday or Tuesday.
Thank you. Grabe. And the students also had so much fun. Thank you,
Preparing
Noel.
a lot of comm students dun sa career nila. Mike, di ba parang ibang klase pag nagka-career talk ka at sa Ateneo talaga para tayong hinihele na tipong inaalagaan tayo kahit after kahit ka-graduate ka na. No? So, Cholo, was that deliberate ba yun? Yung tipong you're able to hone the comm students into their career paths this early? Freshman pa lang yun, ha?
Yeah, parang well, that's one thrust of the school now. It's never too early to be thinking about their future, particularly how they can impact society. Kasi hindi naman mawawala yan sa atin. As an Atenean, you somehow have to be conditioned to really think about other things outside of yourself, outside of your own personal gain. When you graduate from school, we ingrain so much to our students about the notion of nation building, the notion of being a positive influencer, especially in this day and age. So, and how to make an impact, really, how to make a difference. So we somehow a few years back, we decided that the career talk should happen much earlier. So now we're giving it to first-year students. Despite the fact na along the way, magbabago pa yan ng course, di ba? May mga iba dyan mag-shift pa. At least that mindset of, how do I make a difference when I graduate in 4 or 5 years, di ba? Has to be ingrained in them very early on. That's really part of not just career, but also, di ba? Parang using talaga the Ateneo mindset, di ba? Yun yung hindi mawawala eh. You have to have that framework na Atenista ka. Parang you should not be working just for yourself, di ba?
Mike,
you are responsible. Yeah.
Tanong natin kay Mike's ngayon. Kayo ni Dodot parehong Atenista, no? Parang in the industries na pinasukan natin, somehow iba rin yung tingin sa mga Atenista sa, 'di ba? Parang meron ngang bias, 'di ba, sa communications lalo na tipong hindi yan magtitimpla ng kape, ayaw nang mag-PA, ayaw niya ng hirap. Ganun yung tingin sa entertainment industry. How did your being Ateneans affect your status dun sa mga industriyang pinasok niyo ni Dodot Mikes?
Honestly, maybe you can be the one to tell me this. Kapag kami ba ay pinakilala, the first thing you think of is Atenista kami? Parang hindi eh.
That's true. Kasi binibreak mo naman na yon agad. Yun yung maganda sa'yo, di ba? Bago pa man isipin na Cojuangco ka, na Atenista ka, ikaw na yung unang nagbe-break ng ice. And tipong, ikaw yun nga, mabait ka sa utility, mabait ka sa production, yun yata yung kaibahan. But did it matter, Mikes, in like, kunyari, choosing the projects you'd want to get into?
Not to me, in the sense that hindi ko pwede gawin yan kasi Atenista ako, gano'n. Never. I never thought that way because I think I think I'm a combination of my experiences, the lessons I've been taught, the people who have come in and out of my life. So there's no one institution or area of my life that can define me. So at the end of it all, when I am out there, the only thing that I can be is me.
That's true. And the value set.
Commercial lang, di ba?
Yung value set na nandun and skill set na
And
nandun.
I think it's too difficult to have to think na ano kayang iniisip nila tungkol sa akin. Kasi kung iisipin ko yon at kung mauuna yon, then saan napapasok doon yung totoong ako?
That's true. Ganda, philosophical question. Cholo, ikaw, para lang tayong nasa OSA na nag-uusap. Any question kay Mikee? Now that feeling ko nalulure natin siya back into doing more in, yun nga, being a program presenter. Kasi nga, nakomportable rin siya being a mom.
Madaling maging presenter kapag hindi mo kailangan lumabas ng bahay, hindi mo kailangan mag-makeup, hindi mo kailangan sumabak sa traffic.
That's true. Cholo, game.
Well, siguro hindi naman na lingid sa lahat that you were a really big celebrity back in the day. Well, even now, ngayon iba ka na, woman of style ka na ngayon.
Cholo, ito ha, Cholo.
Never.
Pero hindi niya talaga inangkin yun na. Hindi niya.
Oh, well, I guess that's part of my question. But you did enjoy quite a good run in being, a celebrity. Talagang kilala ka kahit sino, kahit di ba, with the movies that you had. Of course, isa sa mga favorite movies ko pa rin, yung movies niyo ni Regine sa ni Donna Cruz. Every time that is rerun on di ba, on our local cable channels. Talagang alam ng mga tao. Up until a few years, kinakanta pa yung kanta niya ni Donna at saka ni Regine sa mga programs sa school. Di ba? Naalala ko, may isang di ba, Christmas program kami na may kinanta talaga yung
I Can, ni Louie Ocampo, di ba?
Your best friend. Kinanta talaga. So it's really, I guess going to my question is, how did that mold you? Kasi syempre, you went through you were in school and then you became a celebrity. But how did that mold you going forward, passing through celebritydom? And how did you use it, I guess, to improve your platform eventually? I mean, as you are doing now, spreading a message.
Well, my story din yan eh. Even before I got to that point. And there were a lot of reminders even while I was in that world. I was campaigning for my parents in Tarlac and I was 13. And so Chris brought a friend with her na showbiz para, syempre, crowd drawer, gano'n, di ba? So, eto ako, nagsispeech ako, tapos, syempre, nakikinig yung mga tao kasi, yung cute niya, ang taba-taba niya, tapos, marunong siya mag-Tagalog, Cojuangco siya. A lot of the misconceptions actually worked for me because I think I was not what people expected. So, After kung magsalita, pinakilala ko yung personality na yon, nagkanda, oh my gosh, talagang halos riot. Ang gulo-gulo. Yung mga tao, sobrang excited sila. Tapos sabi ng personality na yon, parang bumati siya, magandang gabi po, ganyan, pakiboto po si tapos tumingin sa likod, tumingin siya sa tarpaulin, tapos si Ting at si Piping, ganon. Oh my gosh, I was just appalled. You know, it's voting and your vote is so sacred. Tapos pupunta ka dito, tatayo ka sa entablado, may impluwensya ka sa tao, hindi dahil sa kahit ano pa, kundi dahil artista ka, hindi mo alam kung sino yung pinapaboto mo.
That's true.
And I said to myself, you know, if I ever have a chance to deliver a message in public, I have to be very responsible about it.
Galing.
So, doon nag-umpisa yung story ko ng pagiging isang nerdy showbiz girl, in the sense na I was like not fun, not this, you know, controversial whatever na sumasama-sama sa talk na dahil you're gonna get attention for it. I was always against that. So I think that the journey that the Lord put me on, considering that I only really accepted making a movie because I was injured. Di ba?
Yes.
Kasi nakasaklay pa ako. It was only a stage. Kasi
Oo.
Yes.
I remember when we had that concert, naka-leg brace ka. Right.
Actually, leg brace. It was a brace. And
Right.
yeah, with Jimmy, di ba? And
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and it was that one experience that led, and then yun na nga, na-injure ako. I was not used to not doing anything. Usually every day I'm in school and training. I was so bored. I felt like, what am I doing with my life? I'm not achieving anything because all I'm doing is going to school. So that's why, and then that's why I accepted the movie offer of Viva.
Okay. It just fell into place.
It just fell into place. That's why I'm saying that I cannot take credit for anything that any kind of so-called achievement, because the orchestration of the Lord was so great in every part of my life that all I had to do was try to make the most of it.
Galing. Urban legend ba, Mike, yung Mike's na, pero alam ko totoo to na hinatid ka ni Aga sa campus one time, sa klase mo, or sinundo? Ay, hindi. Sinundo yata kasi nakita ko yun. Pero yung malilate ka na.
Urban legend. Akala ko
Urban
naman
legend. Kasi usap sa campus, dalawa yon. Yung pumunta ka raw, malilate ka na, nakakabayo ka. Of course, hindi naman pwede yun. Hindi naman pwede yun. Yung pangalawa, yun nga, hinatid ka ba or sinundo ka ni Aga from class? Or to class? Hindi rin totoo. So hindi totoo. No, but
hindi rin totoo yung helicopter kasi may naglanding na helicopter sa yung kapatid ko.
Yun din. Pero Cholo, of course, we would all remember Mikee dun sa uniform niya sa campus, no? It's a white shirt and the jeans. Sadya yun, Mike.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay, ang uniform ko sa campus was yung Hanes na six-pack. Diba?
Yes.
Diba, yung white na round neck. Tapos, 3 yung shorts ko. Denim, black, tsaka khaki.
Okay.
Tapos, 2 yung shoes ko. Yung Doc Martens na brown, tsaka yung Doc Martens na black na mid-cut.
Okay.
So, hindi ko kailangan, kailangan ko pa rin mag-decide anong shorts at anong shoes ang susutin ko ngayon. Kasi I really didn't have the patience to decide on what I'm going to wear. And in fact, nung nag-SK ako, si Ogie nag-concert sa Tarlac as a fundraiser for me. Hindi niya nadala yung shoes niya. So sinuot niya pa yung shoes ko, yung brown ko na Doc Martens, sinuot ka niya. Buti na lang dala ko kasi galing ako sa school.
Lagi ko sinasabi kay Ogie, naging kaibigan ko siya dahil sa'yo. Kasi No. Of course, he was there during a freshman orientation. Yung nag-start pa lang siya, na nandun na si Ogie. Pero naging mas kaibigan ko siya dahil siya yung third wheel niya ni Aga during that
Grabe,
time.
may ganon. May mga ganong pala, may mga ganong mga perception pala.
Oo. No, pero ito na, Mike, kasi we're going into your marriage also, no? Di ba ang ganda lang na tipong, did you ever think na si Dodot, you'd really end up with Dodot? Kasi parang grabe, parang pinaglaruan din kayo ng Diyos kasi Dodot was with Charlene before, former girlfriend. Tapos ikaw, no, well,
Napaka-showbiz mo talaga, Noel.
nagmaaga. No,
Naalala mo pa yan talaga.
Ay, mo si Cholo para mag-showbiz talk tayo.
Yung galaw lang ng Diyos, diba? Parang si Aga yung minahal ka, tapos wala. Tapos si Charlene naman na kay Dodot before, the girlfriend. Tapos parang, ayan, ikaw tsaka si Dodot yung nagkatuluyan, tapos si Charlene tsaka si Aga.
Were you batchmates? Were you batchmates in Ateneo?
No, Charlene was UST.
USC,
Ay, si Dodot.
Si
I
Dodot.
don't know, 2 batches ahead. No,
Ahead
that's
siya.
not
Right,
even
right.
not even just that. Dodot went to CSA.
Okay.
Pero hindi kami
okay.
nag-meet.
Hindi siya-
Tapos
okay.
nag-Ateneo siya, hindi rin kami nag-meet. Although sabi niya, ganyan kakayabang na nag-meet tayo pero hindi mo
Yan
matanda.
ang kinaalala. No, pero nandun kayo at the time when you wanted some permanence, I guess, no? Parang yung iba ng
Well,
classic.
you know what? All I know is that that God didn't let me notice him in college. If we were introduced, because I still maintain that we did not meet, although he's insisting that we met. Exactly because we were meant to meet more
After.
significantly later on.
Ang galing.
And if I look at who the exes of Dodot are, I'm in really, really good company. Okay, so ang masasabi ko lang, my husband has good taste.
Okay.
Based on his exes, di ba?
Okay.
And Aga had become one of my best friends.
Okay.
Because hindi nga naging kami, kasi sabi ko sa kanya, alam mo, masyado kitang mahal para sagutin ka. Kasi kilalang kilala kita.
What a line.
Oo nga.
We became such good friends
After,
Hindi
diba?
mahal na
Pero mga
in
true
love,
friendship talaga. Mga
Hindi
lifelong
mahal na in
friends.
love, Hindi mahal na
Oo.
in love. Because sabi ko sa kanya, I don't want to hate you. And probably every girl that became your girlfriend hates you.
That's
So sabi ko sa kanya, mas maganda na maging magkaibigan tayo.
okay.
Para we'll always be friends. Pero pag naging tayo, I will end up hating you. Alam ko na yun.
Ang galing. Pero did you ever have double dates now that you're married with Charlene at Aga?
No.
Tapos kayo ni Dottie? Never. Walang ganong chance.
Hindi kami nagchichempo because our kids went to Brent, di ba?
Yes.
Tapos si Andres and Robbie first and then Raph later on. Kasi in between, batch niya kasi si Raph.
Oo.
They're very close. So, palagi kami nagkikita sa school. Pero hindi kami na social, hindi kami get together na social.
Pero okay na rin lang, parang at least yun, na-meet niyo yung mga partners nyo at the time na talagang iba na yung needs nyo sa buhay, di ba?
So all I can say is that God has a sense of humor. Because even if Brent is a small school, hindi naman kailangan na maging mag-best friend si Andres tsaka si Raph, pero naging mag-best friend sila.
Ibang klase.
Kasi si Andres ang naghahatid kay Raph, usually pa uwi. So, I mean, you know what? Whatever it is, I think that it's just, life is good, you know?
That's good.
So,
Ganda. Ang ganda. And then it represented the best parts of your youth. Ang ganda lang na tipong may babalikan kayong ganong history na tipong ay ang ganda, pati hindi kayo nagwala. Hindi sa buhay nyo, di ba? Yun. Anyway, well, tying it up with your family life, Mikes, ano yung roles nyo ni Dodot? For example, are you ikaw yung hampas or sampal? siya yung haplos. Sino yung ganon? Di ba? May ganon, di ba? The good
Hindi
cop,
ko
bad
alam
cop.
yan na may ganon. Ngayon ko lang narinig yan. I learned something from you again today.
Yung good cop and bad cop. Yung tipong kasi hindi pwedeng sabay kayong nagagalit. Dapat merong isang pupuntahan pag merong disagreement with the other parent. May ganon.
Well, for one thing, we always we never contradict each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We never contradict each other with the kids. And I think the kids have a different relationship with each one of us and the two of us together. So, depende kung ano yung topic, kung sino yung lalapitan nila. Tapos, iba rin yung pag kaming dalawa na. So,
Okay.
I don't think that, maybe if you ask them, they will say it depends on the topic. Kasi may
Okay.
mga topics na mas passionate ako, na mas strict ako. Si Dot, ganun din.
Galing. Baka Cholo will identify with this. You play favorites? Or meron yung tipong may affinity na mas malapit sa'yo, kunyari, yung isang anak, then the other
Topic
one?
dependent din.
Topic dependent din. Okay, okay din
Kasi
naman.
like Robbie, for example, si Robbie, pag may kailangan akong puntahan, he'll say, "Oh, mommy, I'll drive for you."
Galing.
So, syempre may bonding moment
Okay.
with Raph because of his personality. If you're in the same room together, tapos hindi siya yung nagmamadaling umalis, victory na yun.
Okay. Ang
Si
galing.
Renzo naman, if he's having a discussion with you about how to build a keyboard or how to upgrade his 3D printer or something like that. So I think it's also what's important to them. Kung ano yung importante sa kanila.
Youngest is what? 12? 12 years old, no? Cholo, ikaw, youngest is?
16.
16. Ayan na,
Yeah.
tumatanda na
I
tayo.
have 2 girls.
Oh, wow!
Ayan na, siya naman, 3 boys. But Mike,
Oo.
are you ready na kunyari may buhay ng sarili yung mga anak nyo that eventually, yun, may iwan kayo ni Dot together?
I'm praying that we have made, and natatawa ko kasi parang feeling ko hindi. I'm praying that we made our home and our family life happy enough that they will want to always come back.
Confident.
Hindi. I'm praying hard because I don't think.
Okay.
Kasi gaya nun kami, ako at least, I was very happy at home. Kaya yung mga Sunday dinner, kailangan magkasama, it's not a chore. It's something that I look forward to. So sana sila, pagka may sarili na silang pamilya, ganun din sila. Although, parang feeling ko my parents were much 2 million times better parents than I am. So, we'll see.
Ang galing. Pero yun nga, parang the ultimate test will be your parang trying to win with your kids. Yung tipong
I think naman, Cholo, di ba, parang, siguro kasi, how old is your eldest, Cholo?
Ayan na.
She's 22. Junior, college na. Grabe, no?
Okay.
O,
Are you?
20 sa'yo.
Turning
Ay,
22.
Ateneo?
Yes, she's a junior psych.
Robbie.
Ayan
Ah,
na.
really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Parang kasi kumbaga sa pregnancy, 'di ba? You find out you're pregnant, you're happy, you're excited, and then through the pregnancy you're nervous, you don't know what to expect, and then you don't know what you're gonna do with the baby. And then after that, ang laki-laki ng tiyan mo, ang bigat-bigat ng tiyan mo, gusto mo nang ilabas yung baby, hindi bale na hindi ko alam kung anong gagawin sa'yo, pero mas okay na yun kaysa yung...
Nasa iyo, yeah.
Oo, yung gano'n, no? So I think the design is such that you're ready. You will be brought to the point where you're ready for the next stage of your life.
Galing. Parang OJT lang naman yan, di ba? On the job yung training. And parang life has equipped you with a lot of like lessons and values na kakayanin nyo. Pero yun na nga, parang the next stage will always be, yun nga, Cholo, you'll be with Gladys lang, and then your children will be on their own. Tapos iba yung trust nga is not always yung pag nandyan katabi mo. Yun po yung meron ka na pwedeng pakawalan sila. So, kaya nyo na ba yun or sana hindi pa?
Well, hindi pa talaga. Nag-aaral pa sila eh. Diba?
Okay.
They're still dependent. Kasi
Okay.
wala pa naman silang trabaho.
But
Nag-aaral pa sila.
can you say, Mike, you're becoming the mom that your mom was to you also?
No, not really. Because
Okay.
my parents, hindi ko ma-imagine na ako sasabihin ko, sige, 16 years old ka, sumakay ka ng eroplano mag-isa mo, titira ka sa bahay ng isang Australiana na hindi namin kilala para gumaling ka sa pagsakay ng kabayo.
Talaga?
And I did that every year, twice a year. Sem break, summer. I can't imagine telling my kids, sige, sumakay ka ng aeroplano mag-isa. Sumakay ka sa airport mag-isa, mag-check-in ka mag-isa. Yung ganon, di ba? But my parents were like that with me. I traveled in high school and in college, maybe once every 2 months to compete abroad. Hindi naman sila sumasama eh. Yung mom ko, sasama siya. Kunyari, first time namin pumunta to a new country. Pero pag nandun na kami, parang wala siya because she doesn't interfere. She doesn't get in my way. We have a coach. We follow the program of the coach. And then when the competition is done, my mom will say, nakausap ko na yung parents ng teammates mo na we will stay an extra day so that you can see the local sites. Para may matutunan naman kayo about the country that you
Culture,
visited.
yeah.
Yung ganon, no? That's how my mom is. Even up to now, she's her sense of adventure is still very strong.
Or takot ka because of the times? Mas takot ka because of yun? Sabi mo nga, ang daming temptations.
Maybe, but also maybe also because hindi ko naman nakita sa kanila yung they're in pursuit of something.
Not yet. Okay. Yes.
So maybe if they had focused on something in particular that had these a potential for something, then maybe. Pero wala naman silang pinakitang interest in anything in particular that would have necessitated that.
Like you did when you were younger, no? Well, of course.
I'd like to think.
Cholo, meron ka pang question? Well, you just rattle off with all these. Isa lang, Mike, because we're going to the sports part na. So matutuloy yung yung Tokyo Olympics.
Yes. Yeah.
So what preparations? Well, ito may kasamang sumbong, di ba? Na after SEA Games dito, parang Mike, yung mga atleta natin pinauwi na sa mga probinsya nila kasi wala nang pang-subsidize sa kanila. You're aware of that?
Yes, but at the same time, it's also different when you transition to sport administration because you have to also realize kung ano ba talaga yung mga realities. For example, ba't sila pinauwi? Hindi lang naman dahil sa subsidy, pero dahil may pandemya.
Correct.
So, at a certain point, no matter what is the focus of my work, of my life, I try, sports is my biggest probably advocacy at the moment. As much as it's my priority, there are other priorities like life, like health.
That's true.
Diba? And pagdating ng panahon ng pandemya, hindi mo naman iisipin na ang businessman kailangan ganito pagtrato. Ang atleta ganito, ang politiko ganito. Hindi because we all have to
save lives.
We all have to be part of the solution, and if the solution that our government, whom we have no choice but to follow, is this is their strategy. So kailangan natin sumunod. Naiinggit ba ako sa mga ibang bansa na mas mabilis silang nakapag-organize ng mga sarili nila so that their athletes have been training? Yes, of course. But it's the reality, and I pray that now that there is focus from the sporting authorities in the country to qualify more athletes for the Olympics and for the SEA Games athletes to be better prepared, that they will have the support for it. Kasi our sports officials have the technical knowledge. But even us, even for example, equestrian, hindi kami kasama sa next SEA Games because hindi sinama ng host country. Just like the Philippines didn't include it in the last SEA Games.
Yeah.
But let's say us, may natural social distancing naman kami and yet we're still not allowed to have events because there's a general rule that we cannot.
So, give us an idea, Mikes, of the preparations for the Tokyo Olympics.
Well, we have 3 athletes at the moment that are officially qualified, and I believe there's still over, if I have it, if my memory serves me well, maybe 20 to 40 more that are still vying to qualify. And even qualifying competitions are also either delayed or canceled because of this current COVID situation. So
how will that be? You will be there in Tokyo by June. You'll be flying also. So ano yun? Bibigyan ng bakuna yung mga athletes bago pumunta?
There are other countries na vaccinated na yung athletes nila because their athletes were prioritized, and of course Congress passed a bill na our athletes would also be prioritized because we would probably have a delegation of about 100 for Tokyo. Of course, the SEA Games athletes, kasama din sila dun sa batas na yon or sa bill na yon. And there were a lot of mixed reactions. You know, there were some reactions that were positive and some reactions that were not, which is anticipated even by the athletes, the global athletes. There are the athletes all over the world na mixed feelings din sila whether or not they should be seen as a priority for it. So, what we know naman is that actually vaccination is protection for the person that was vaccinated.
That's true.
Not for the people around you, but more for yourself. Nevertheless, the more people that are vaccinated before going to these multi-sport events, at least you would think that these people, you will worry less about these people.
Galing. Well, at least there's an assurance na matutuloy yung Tokyo Olympics this year. Sabi ko kung Miss Universe nga matutuloy 2 beses this coming year, no? Parang yata ito yung talagang pinaghandaan ng Japan.
Not just Japan. The focal point here are the athletes, because you have some athletes na time sensitive din yung sports nila. You have some athletes who have dedicated their lives to becoming Olympians, and
that's true.
If we had just decided na i-cancel na to, anong mangyayari sa kanila? They'll never have that chance. Parang nawala na lang sa kanila yun. And first and foremost, it's really for these athletes that we're really, pushing everything to the limit for us to be able to go on with the Olympics this year.
So wag kayong magkakasakit. By Wednesdays again, June, July?
July 23 yung opening ceremony.
Okay. Cholo, game.
It's good news.
Yeah.
Wala, nandun pa ako sa sa yung parenting styles. I love it. I can really relate as a parent myself of 2 grown kids. Si Maxine is here with us. Ayan, para na may voice din.
Thank you again.
Ang students. Ayan.
Hi everyone.
This is Maxine.
Max is the pamangkin of Panji.
Oh,
okay.
Really? I didn't know that. Wow, kilala ko pala ang auntie mo.
Kumakanta rin siya. Okay. So Max is a student. Max, you can ask Mikee anything. But then, yun nga, sa parenting, nagkita si Cholo at Mikee kasi.
So did any of your kids take up your sport?
No, ayaw ni Dodot.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Bakit?
Sabi niya, masyadong maraming taon ang mababawa sa buhay niya having to watch more than one family football on a court. So sabi niya, pumili ka na lang, sinong sasakay ng kabayo, ikaw or sila? Eh di sabi ko, syempre ako, di ba?
That's nice. Max, go! Shoot your question kay Mikes.
All right. Okay. So you might be used to getting questions like this, but a while ago you mentioned that in particular pursuits, it's nice to ask someone who has achieved or has experienced things in that realm. So, what advice can you give us students on finding our goals and passions and reaching them like as early as now, like while we're still students?
Well, I think, Maxine, that first you should try your best also to figure out what your gifts and what your talents are.
Mhm.
And then what you enjoy. Sometimes it's not the same thing, and
Yes.
that poses a challenge. But you know what? When you love something, you could be just as good. You can, because even no matter how talented someone is, if they don't develop that talent into a skill, it will always just be a talent.
Mhm. Mhm.
And those are for the people who are gifted. I know so many people who did not have the talent,
Mhm.
but but did even better and became
Mhm.
more successful than the people who were talented.
That's true. That's true.
So I think those are the two main questions that you have to answer, and sometimes those are the two hardest questions in life to answer.
Totoo naman.
Diba? Pero I think if you focus on that, on doing what you enjoy, then work doesn't become work because it
Mhm.
becomes something that you enjoy. And
Mhm.
then if you're blessed enough that what you love doing is what you are good at doing, then no one can stop you. But you have to be patient.
Di ba, Cholo, ganyan yung dapat naririnig nating host sa TV? You put it really well, Mike. So sabi ko, you should host your own show.
Yes, please. Oy, my wife works for Metro Channel. You want the show? Alam mo, inalok talaga eh. Oh.
Ayan na,
Inalok
go.
talaga. Ito
Glad to
talaga, I
know.
promise.
Well,
I will
yeah.
put you on top of the list. If I
Lovely.
have any influence on my wife, watch out for that.
Mike,
Sure.
Paging Gladys.
Yes,
ito, Mike,
yes.
see, this is part of our Women's Month celebration. No? Parang yung pagiging babae mo ba dun sa industries na pinasok mo, naka-apekto or makikita mo pa rin may ganong inequality dun sa systems na dinaanan mo? Kunyari, well, in show business, for example, did it work to your advantage na babae ka or nakikita mo pa rin na yung people who are in control are mostly guys pa rin and sports dun sa isang mundo mo?
Hmm. I don't know how to say this because I would like to respect the struggle that many women have
Yes, yeah.
gone through and that many women continue to go through, because um, there are so many women that are discriminated upon.
Yeah.
But also, I was born into a family that wala akong kapatid na lalaki, apat ang kapatid kong lalaki, and the mother that all of us have strong personalities and all of us are unique, and
Yeah.
we are aware of and embrace that uniqueness. And
Mhm.
then I happen to choose a sport where men and women compete equally against each other.
Mhm. Mhm.
So growing up, even if there was discrimination, I have to say that I just ignored it
Mhm. Mhm.
because I could,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
because I feel like mas na experience ko yung discrimination when I paid more attention to it.
Aha. Good, good,
Kung
good.
napapansin ko siya, mas nahihila ako pababa.
Okay.
And I realized that because my father was also probably the strongest presence at that time, that it's not a problem,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, everything that I saw that was successful around me, every success even that I had,
Mhm.
wasn't done only with a single gender
That's
around,
true. That's true.
because it always takes a team,
Yeah.
and that team normally always had men and women.
Dun sa sports, Mike, because since you're the first daw Filipino Asian
I'm the first
member,
Asian woman.
first Asian woman, no, in that
Yes.
sports committee, the Olympics
Yeah.
committee, no? So, kumusta standing up with the men there?
it would be quite surprising to a lot of people, but I've gotten so much support
Okay.
from the men.
Okay.
I feel like there are so many forward-thinking men in the IOC, even if the IOC is known na parang ano siya, anong
Macho
tawag
group.
doon? Parang old gentleman's club. Yun
Yes,
yung image
yes,
ng
yes.
IOC eh. And in a lot of ways, it's true, but there are so many of those men na pag tinignan mo sila, you're going to typecast them as that kind of person. But you see, when we ask for a chance, we should also give the chance to them.
That's true.
Because I've been mentored by people who you would not expect to be mentors of a young in their eyes. I'm old in the eyes of Maxine, but to them, they're so much older. To them, I'm young, a young Asian girl. They are happy to mentor me
Galing.
because I also want to be mentored by them. There's no way. I understand in the freshness and the energy of youth, but there is no way that history and the mistakes of history, even recent history, will not repeat itself if you do not have someone with the wisdom that has experienced it before to say why it did not work before, but why it might work now.
Such a good student of anumang gender. Galing. Cholo game. Matatapos na tayo. Last words for Mikey or any other question or any other insight.
I'm just happy to see you again, Mike. It's really an honor and a privilege to be on a show with you. So I just wish you all more success, all the more success. I mean, tayo, I guess we're at the stage in our lives now na we look at our kids to carry on the good that we are trying to put out in this world. Diba? That we are trying to.
Yan anong trying kasi you can't
nasa isip ko na yan na
galing.
as you age and hopefully we are aging gracefully. Our legacy is something that we are slowly building. So I'm just happy that I think you turned out fine. Your kids are doing well, and you're definitely putting out a big impact to the world. So more power to you, Mikey.
Galing. Yun.
I just wanna respond to Cholo and say that I find it so parang nanliliit ako, kinikilig ako na hindi ko maintindihan. Because in college, of course, we were like looking up to Cholo, di ba?
Ano ba yun?
Oo eh.
Recorded ba to?
No, but the thing here is, yun na nga,
Oh
he's
my
doing
gosh.
the things we've always wanted to do and has remained to do it consistently. Nandyan pa rin siya sa campus. So, at least yun.
Tinamaan nga ako doon sa sinabi ni Mikey na some people who are talented but didn't really work for it, you won't really get it. I guess, maski paano, diba? I mean, you knew me, Mikey, back in the day when, I was kind of trying to get out there also. But I found out na there are more things, I guess, more important than fame and celebrity. But it's really just making sure that you are the best you put out the best in whatever you are meant to do at a certain point in your life. So now I'm just working in school, but I'm trying my best.
Yes.
So I'm hoping that I leave a mark. That's all we hope for in this world. Just leave a mark.
Yeah. I can't even say that it's just because Maxine probably would be able to say how much someone in school influences, and we all experience as well. So even the things that I'm saying, even if I sound confident in what I'm saying, it's not because I've achieved everything. It's also because I failed at more things than I've achieved. So, I think we just can't be afraid to make a mistake. We can't be afraid to fail because we can always get back up. The best athletes probably have lost more than they have won.
Galing.
That's what siguro for today's generation. Don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid to fail.
Galing.
And para sa akin, the biggest strength or blessing or whatever that I have is faith. And you have to grow your faith, because in faith there is hope. In faith there is everything has a reason when you have faith. A failure has a reason. A success is more to be more savored when you have faith, because a success doesn't become only yours, but it becomes shared. And the reason you share your faith is because when you have faith, you have joy.
Galing.
And that's why you want to share it. Not because gusto mong ipilit yung gusto mo, or gusto mong ipilit yung sa tingin mo tama. It's not that. It's just because we want to share the joy.
Recurring yan, Cholo, no? Yung not to be afraid to commit mistakes. Diba, na reminder yan. Pero Mike, ito, kaya nyo na ba ni Cholo, kunyari, kung ang nagkakaroon ng mistakes, yung mga anak ninyo? Or you'll be there to ako na lang, or parang you'll caution them enough, or you'll be more controlling?
You will always caution them, but their mistakes have to be their own. And especially when they're younger and when the mistakes have less consequences, that's when dapat we will allow them to make mistakes. Kaya din yung mga anak ko, ang dami-dami nilang mga peklat, ang dami nilang mga because you have to let them. And I hope, Maxine, that...
Okay lang yung peklat sa braso, pero yung mga peklat sa puso.
Yan ang Cholong kilala ko.
Yan ang Cholo. No, I wanna ask.
May
gusto ko tanungin, pero, Mike, sino mas crush mo nung college? Si Jimmy ba o si Johnny?
Wow, hirap naman yun.
Mas si Johnny, di ba sabi mo?
Ha?
Mas si Johnny, di ba?
Johnny, classmate ko.
Classmate ko, oo nga.
Okay.
Pero
walang
si Jimmy,
walang ganyanan.
Si Jimmy yung nanligaw sa'yo sa college. Pero si...
sa akin sa kanila.
Wala ba? Pumarma lang?
Hindi sila nanligaw.
So, anong inside story nun?
Alam
ko yung isang...
Yan ang problema Yan ang problema kasi.
Alam ko isa sa mga kanta.
Pero wait, Mikey, you do know that si Jimmy composed a song for you,
Yeah,
right?
isang kanta para sa'yo. Don't Look Away ba yun? Oo naman, of course.
Yung kaharian.
Hanapin ko yan in my memory banks, ha?
Kaharian sa'yo yun?
Diba?
Kaharian. Right, kaharian.
At kung ika'y pilay, gamitin mo akong saklay.
Yes. Galing. Alam pa ni Mike.
Pero meron kang kinanta na, so it's you. Nag-duet-duet pa kayo, di ba? Don't Look Away. Oo.
No, I think...
I have your pictures of that. I will send them to you. That concert. Cool.
Ganda. No, pero nahirapan siya pagpili kay Jimmy at Johnny.
Ano ba?
Bakit mo naman kasi ako papipiliin? Ang tagal-tagal mo nun.
Okay.
Saka wag mong pag-awayin yung magkapatid.
Hindi naman sila nag-aaway doon. Natutuwa lang yan pag pinag-uusapan.
Hindi naman sila nanligaw. Pero yan din apparently was a problem with me because may mga nagsabi sa akin, I felt like I was one of the guys. And in one or two instances, in front of one of them, sinabi ko, ay hindi naman ako niligawan yan. Sabi niya, hindi, niligawan kita, ha? Siyempre ako parang, ligaw na pala yun. Sabi ko, kala ko naman mabait ka lang sa akin kasi mabait kang tao pala, ligaw na yun, di ba?
No, parang sinasabi mo sa anak mo, kailangan lahat articulated. Dapat,
hindi naman.
Dapat lahat sinasabi. Well, anyway, Cholo, salamat. Cholo,
Thank you.
Last word.
Great to
Last
catch
word
up.
kay Mike's.
Sorry, what? Hindi ko na naintindihan.
Last words and message kay Mike's, Max.
All right. So thank you, Miss Mikee, for today. Actually, I learned a lot, and your last answer to me was very inspiring. So I definitely got something from this afternoon. I was actually watching from the beginning. And to end things on a light note, I just wanted to ask, what are you looking forward to after the pandemic?
Oh, wow.
Mike's ito, kunyari, the women leaders really did well, no? Leaders from Vietnam, New Zealand, Germany, di ba? Parang ganon. Meron ganong strength na sa tingin ko, kayong mga babae, we're able to handle the pandemic really well. You've become so productive during the pandemic. Sabi mo nga, nagkaroon ka pa ng talk show ngayong may pandemya. So what is it about women leaders and what do you look forward to after?
I think looking at the pandemic and seeing how women leaders have been more successful at dealing with the pandemic is just it should be the only proof we need about why women should be in decision-making positions.
That's true.
Even if they're not the top, just for women to be at the table where decisions are being made already adds so much.
That's true.
Because women bring a different perspective as men. And not to say that one is more important than the other, but in certain situations, maybe one is better than the other. And we just have to learn how to take turns.
That's true. That's true.
As for what I'm looking forward to after the pandemic, I love to eat. So I was almost going to say maybe going to a restaurant again, but my husband is such a good cook that it's like we're eating restaurant quality food for every meal. I think I miss I miss being outside of the house with my family. I miss going to any place where I'm not thinking of work or my to-do list.
Yes.
And I just want to enjoy not wearing a mask when I go out of my
Pero paano
house.
yun? A lot of your pictures, nami-miss ko ngayon, yung mga travel pictures nyo. So, you've always been traveling. Yan yung way mo para yung leisure, no? So, that's a
Actually, I have to maybe share this kasi yung travels namin, matagal kami hindi nakapagbiyahe.
Okay.
Because it's not cheap to travel. It's very expensive to travel, especially when you've had positive experiences traveling. Gusto mo ma-experience mo yun kasama ng pamilya mo.
Yes.
So we want to build memories like that with our kids.
Yes.
But it's not cheap kasi lima kami. So the trips are very special. And more often than not, we try to time it along with a work trip of mine.
Galing. So you're bringing them to Japan?
Well, they normally would go with me to Japan because
Galing.
I'm part of the coordination commission. So every year we would travel to Japan, and then so syempre libre na yung plane ko.
Galing.
So it helps. We also try to find ways. It's not just a matter of gusto gawin. We also have to be practical, and I think that's one of the tricks that social media plays on our minds is that we can just go and do whatever we want. It doesn't show the struggle of how kailangan mo mag-ipon, bago ka makakain sa ganito, sa ganyan, or diba? So I think we have to keep reminding ourselves of that because building memories is the most important part of the things that we do, and for us to be able to appreciate the smaller things will make us happier people.
Ang galing. Mikes, we've run out of time. Who's there? Rob?
Yeah.
Pabalik na sa pagkananay. Hello, Rob. Hello, Atenean.
Smile naman.
Hello. So, we see the next generation, Cojuangco, Jaworski, who will be like trying to affect us in media, I hope, and sports. Does he play sports?
Yeah, he does, but he's a business-minded person.
That's good too. Good too. Well,
so, exploring.
Okay. But no leadership position sa next elections because
Me?
we need not you. No, hindi,
not me.
Hindi pa. Dodot, no? Or the family or anyone in the family because parang people are crying for change and then parang okay, a different kind of perspective after what we've gone through.
I think I don't know because marami akong sinabi before that I won't do this, I won't do that, and then I ended up in showbiz, I ended up doing all sorts of things. So I'm never gonna say never. But in the next election, I know that I am not gonna run. And my dream for the Philippines is that we're gonna stop wanting change because we're
That's true.
finally gonna be satisfied with the
What
path that
we
we're
have.
on, and then we are going to want to have a leader that's gonna continue us on a good path, rather
And
than
and bring the goodness no out of every one of us.
yes,
Yun
bring
nga
the
yun.
best out of each other.
And
Next.
thank you. And thank you, Mike. Thank you for this afternoon. Ibang klase, no? Parang iba na yung pagko-connect ng mga tao, yung may recollections of the past. Pero may isang perspective na or may kakaiba, circumspect, may mga qualifiers na tayo. Hindi na absolutang mundo.
Yes.
May tamang konteksto. But yon, ganun pa rin. Mike, cargo kita sa Diyos at cargo kita palagi. Yon, pinagdadasal kita at maraming salamat.
Thank you, Tatang. Thank you for this chance today. And it's so nice to meet you, Maxine.
Galing.
And go for your dreams.
Thank
Galing.
you. I will.
And then yun na, parang go for your dreams and then let the Lord lead you, no? Parang kasi wala ka namang pinuntahan, Mikes, na hindi mo inasahan nung una, di ba? Parang hindi mo talaga inasahan lahat ng pinagpuntahan mo, pero you're okay.
Without him, I am nothing. And I have
Correct.
not been able to achieve anything without first wanting to do it because I want to glorify him.
Ang galing. Yan, Mikes, yung gusto ko sa Real Talk. For you to end it the personal note. Tell them, after yung preacher, dapat mag-i-end sa inyo. So
Hindi rin Pastora Monique eh. It's so hard to
no, kayo yung gagawa nun para ipakita na kaya yon gawin sa totoong buhay. Yung tipong gano'n. Kasi mortal tayo. Pero hindi,
bakit si Pastor Monique is immortal?
no, parang yun, we're all living witnesses and yun, parang tayo yung pagpatotoo na kahit may struggle, we're all wounded but we're all wounded healers. Yung tipong ganun. Maraming salamat. We'll continue leveling up. Maraming salamat, Max. Maraming salamat. Mike and Cholo, thank you for joining us also. Until next week, maraming salamat. Bye-bye. Ang saya.
All caps, mga Atenista, it's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Fridays from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.